Hi everyone. Can you believe it? It's May and it's starting to get cold again. Honestly, it was about 37 degrees here, and we're stuck in the house. Can't do basketball outside. Can't do riding bikes outside. Everyone just came right back in, so we're back in the house trying to come up with ideas of what to do to pass the time. So I wanted to share with you. I think I counted 10 different board games that we have either been using or we want to try to do virtually. And so I'm going to share these with you. By the way, how do you like the bangs? The kiddo tried to cut them and she was mad at me at the time, so it didn't go over too well. So that's what's going on with the bangs. But back to the games. Let's start with Scrabble. Scrabble is one of our favorite games ever. We're playing it like twice a week with Grandma, who's in another state. She loves Scrabble, crosswords, all that stuff, and she's very willing to do it, and it's been a lot of fun. So if you like Scrabble, give it a thumbs up. I'll show you what we do with Scrabble, and then I'll show you some other games. So first, we've got the Scrabble set up, and I don't know, do you have any tripods at home? We just got this one, which is really cool. I put a deck of cards in it so you can pretend it's a cell phone. And then we recently got this kind of tripod. It clamps to the table, and it's really been great. It holds phones as well as tablets, and you just lift it up, and it's been really sturdy. So what we usually do, we have two players. We're gonna have Doggy be a player, and then here's an empty seat. And we usually have 3 people playing at a time, and 2 people here at the house. And then my mom is usually FaceTiming, video chatting, whatever you guys want to call it. And she can see her tiles, and then she can also see the kiddo across the way. So there's a lot of fun and antics and stuff like that. She can't really see the board very well, but and we've got a deluxe board game that actually has wheels and it can turn like that. But what I've done is I've printed out a page that shows the template of the Scrabble. It also shows like the double letter, triple letter, double word, triple word, and then all the tiles and what the value should be. So if someone didn't have the board game, they could easily fill this in almost like a crossword puzzle. Once they someone at the other house can tell them the location of each tile. And then they could also, if they wanted to, they could cut these out. They know how much each tile is worth. They could laminate it. They could put it on magnets. They could even glue it on water bottle caps. We've done that before. And so then you just put it in a sock or a little sack, and you're good to go. Also make sure you've got the pen and paper for the scoring and everything. And I'll share links below on where to get the tripods and where to get the template for the Scrabble and everything. It's been really working well. We as I said, we've done it about twice a week for the last few weeks. It's been a lot of fun. It takes probably about 2.5 hours though, so just to warn you. Next we're going to switch to puzzles. I could not believe that we started doing puzzles virtually. So I'll share with you that. So recently the kiddo did a solar system puzzle. We had 200 pieces. It was a lot of fun. It was small enough that it wasn't scary, but big enough that it took some time. And so what happened was we just moved this tripod over here to kind of look at a certain area. And the kiddo and my mom just started working on each section. Like maybe they'd start with Saturn and they'd say, okay, well, what are we looking for? Are we looking for these little purple balls or these red balls? Are we looking for these red lines? Oh, wait a minute. What about Earth? Maybe we'll look for the moon or the spaceship. And then they would go over here and they're like, okay, we need some greens. We need some blues. Where's a big gray ball? They left the rocks for later. But it probably took them maybe a couple of hours, and but they both had the the persistence to just stick with it and do it. And then they'd like slide the puzzle over, and then the tripod would kind of start looking at another section. And they'd start working on the sun and on Venus and stuff like that. So that was amazing. That was a lot of fun. So the next game that a lot of people are doing virtually, and this is not original, is Battleship. And again, I'll share with on the links below where you can find these. But I thought it would be fun. This is kind of the smaller version. I thought it might be fun to like put it in a box or make a fence, and so that it kind of props up. But actually, just folding it like this does it too. And so you could have it set up just like the Scrabble tripod, where it's just looking right at you. So you're still seeing your friends or your relatives and you're goofing around, but you each have this PDF of the Battleship board, and it comes in a larger version too. So that is an opportunity. And then for people who maybe have a shorter attention span, I think Battleship takes a while, but maybe what about Connect 4? I found this online that actually had the 1 through 6 and then A through G. And so if you labeled this, A, B, C, D, and then 1 through 6, and took some crayons or markers and filled in your black or your red, or if you want to do it like they did, red and yellow, and just fill that in. And again, set up the tripod, same setup like Battleship, and just play Connect 4. That would be amazing. We haven't tried that, but I think that's going to be our next one we're going to try. The next one is Hangman. I think a lot of people are doing Hangman. I know the kiddos are doing Hangman at school and on docks when they're on the docks. I got one that had a template so that people can easily know like what parts of the body. So if you're dealing with a younger kid, I found that online, and I'll share that link below. And so this I think would be a lot of fun. We have not personally done it, but I know the kids are doing that a lot. So that's a good one. And then what if you find a board game that you need some dice? There was a really cool website, and again, I'll share the link below, but it shared like all these templates for board games. And so if you were going on a car trip or something like that, or you misplaced the board game, but they even had dice. And look at this. I mean, it's not small. I mean, it's almost the size of a deck of cards, but it works. And you tape it and you cut it and you tape it together, and then you could play something like Snakes and Ladders. This was printable, and so again, if you're dealing with some younger kids and they're working on their numbers and counting, you could play virtually Snakes and Ladders with them, no problem. And then here's a copy of Candyland. Again, come up with something as a marker, or I don't know, maybe really anything. Gosh, even a wad of paper just to say, okay, this is my person and I'm going to move and everything. And then the other person at the other side of the FaceTime or the Zoom meeting, they can have the board and you can be part of it. So that's a lot of fun. Another game that we want to do, we're going to try to figure this out this week, is actually Rummikub. The kiddo was playing this a couple of weeks ago with friends of ours, neighbors, and I personally don't know how to play it, but then I found on the website, and I'll share the link below, where you can make your own tiles, and then there's even instructions. And so I'm hoping that actually the kiddo can play with our neighbor while I have to do some work or something, because my neighbor loves that game, and they were having lots of fun with that. And then there's also, what is this called? I forget what this is called. In the Box? I think it's called. It's a number game, and you go up 1 through 9, and you try to make combinations where you add up to certain numbers, and then you get to, oh, shut the box. That's what it's called, shut the box. And so here was another layout of if you didn't have the board game, you had it. I don't think that this is really a virtual game with other people because it's more of a solitaire game, I think, although there could be other players, but maybe you can make it like a FaceTime or a Zoom situation because it does say player 1, player 2, player 3. So there's that. I want to share some other games with you. What about war? Could you play a full deck at your house and then have the other person play a full deck at their house and have it set up on the small tripod? Have it set up on the small tripod and just play war? Could that really work? I think it might work. So we want to try to play that. And I'm sure that there's several sources on how to play war, and I'll try to find one and put it on the links below. And then Uno. What about Uno? Could you play a double deck? Like one deck at one house and the other deck at the other house, and just play a double deck of Uno? I think that could work. I really, really do. Again, just setting it up on an easy tripod, no big deal, and then you could just do it. I think that could work. So we're going to try that, I think, sometime. And then the last one's kind of a fun thing. Okay, you're going to laugh. I have this pointed, the tripod, and I'm going to sit in this chair. I don't know if you see it. I'm sitting in a chair, and there's a hat over there. Do you see that hat? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do flashcards. I'm going to figure out what time this is. This is 4:35, and then I'm going to try to throw it in the hat. And then the next one is money. I don't know what this is. 50, 60, 70, 74 cents. I'm going to throw that and see if I can get that in the hat. And keep doing the flashcards. Ooh, I got one. And 75, 85, 90, 93. Or we have some harder flashcards. So what is that? That's 34. Yay, I got it right. And that did not work. Was this 35? And see if you can get all these cards in the hat. It makes it a lot of fun. There's a kind of a mess. The cat loves watching it. And then you get some exercise because you have to pick up all the cards. And then you could even like do it FaceTime with someone else. They can make their mess at home. And then you guys can count to see who all made the most in their hats. So that would be fun. Those are our 10 games. Hope you enjoy. Hope you have fun. Brainstorm. Let us know what games you like to do virtually, and make it a great day.